Hello and welcome. Now in this video I'm going to be talking about one subject that I received a question about inside of our survey results. And the question is, I need to know how to start once I purchase and rewrite PLR. How do I make it my own by adding things that apply to my niche and audience? How do I connect sales page, thank you page, and download page? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the first question, and then we'll get into the second question. If I need to go on to another video, then I will, and then we'll probably complete the rest of this inside of a product that you can actually take and dive in. So let's start with the first question. I need to know how to start once I purchase and rewrite PLR. Now I'm going to go to my PLR membership, Resale Rights Weekly, and if the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the current downloads, and I'm just going to take a look here to see, let's see what a PLR product is going to be. Let's take a look at the first one that we see. Okay, here's one that was recently sold, YouTube Marketing 2.0, YouTube Marketing Made Easy. So now the question is, you've rewritten this, you've redone it, and now what is it that you want to do with it? Well, you probably want to start by finding out what the problems are when it comes to YouTube or video marketing. Now I'm going to start with the Warrior form, and what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do this on screen, but I'm going to actually do a search inside of the Warrior form. I'm going to spend some time finding out what the problems are that people are talking about when it comes to YouTube and video marketing. Now it's going to be a little harder to do, but I want to do the same thing inside of Facebook. I want to try to see what people are talking about, and the place where I want to focus on is where my niche is. So if there are groups that represent my niche, I want to look at those niche, and I want to search in there to see what people are talking about with respect to YouTube or video marketing. I can do the same thing inside of my my LinkedIn groups. I can actually do the same thing inside of LinkedIn. I want to see what people are talking about, what the discussions are when it comes to YouTube marketing. And then I want to do a search. I want to do a search for online forum, and then I want to type in what my niche is. Now, if you are selling primarily to internet marketers, then you want to write that in here, and you want to start looking inside of these forums to figure out, okay, what are people talking about? What are people having a problem with when it comes to YouTube marketing and when it comes to video marketing? You're also going to want to take a look at Quora to find out what questions are being asked again about YouTube and video marketing. What are people really having a problem with? And then you want to go and you want to take a look at some of the leading blogs in the niche. Now, I happen to know that Real SEO is a leading blog for marketers when it comes to video marketing, so I would look there. There's also a site called onlinevideo.net that I would look at. Now, you would have to do the same, and you'd have to find the Real SEO for your niche, right? So you'd have to find the if it's weight loss, you'd have to find the weight loss blog to try to figure out, okay, what are people having, when it comes to YouTube, what are people talking about, or even onlinevideo.net. Now, the last place is going to be a little more obscure, and I've talked about this in other videos, but it bears mentioning again. If your niche is inside of a specific trade, you want to be looking at tradepub.com. You want to get a sense for what it is that they're talking about. Find the trade publication where they're talking about and they're having the conversation, and find out what they're talking about with respect to video marketing. Now, all these trade publications are available online, but you come to tradepub.com so you can find out what the names of those trade publications are. Now, finally, and probably the most difficult, but I think the most is going to give you the most ROI if you can find it, is going to be what's happening in your local niche, because there's just not going to be a lot of competition there. And if you can be the first person to get to the people that actually have the problem, you're probably going to have more of an open chance of being able to be the person to be their go-to person. So finding out what's going on in your local area is not a strategy that's talked about a lot. I'm going to be talking about it more as time goes on, but it is a strategy that you can develop your own. You can find out what the conversation is when it comes to video marketing in your local area, because you want to nicheify that PLR. Now, what we're trying to do is we're trying to find out how to use the PLR. And I would probably do what I've just talked about before I even rewrite it, right? Because you want to rewrite the PLR toward a niche, number one, and you want to write it toward a problem. So here's what you're trying to do with PLR. You want to focus your attention on solving the higher order problem. What is the real problem that people have? And you want to figure out how to solve that problem so that they come to you for the solution. You want to use your PLR so that you don't have to go back and then cover basics. So you want to make sure that you have the PLR to cover the basics, and then you want to then spend your time adding on by writing in or adding to the PLR by solving a higher order problem, right? And so that is really how you want to rewrite the PLR. And that's why I would say, even before you start rewriting, you want to start thinking about this before you start the rewrite. And you want to always be thinking in these four terms as you start thinking about creating a product or reselling one. You want to be thinking about the fact that the product really does need to have a USP. I mean, as an internet marketer, you can have a USP. I mean, you can be unique in the marketplace, but every product, regardless of whether or not you're unique, should have its own USP. You should be doing something new or adding to the conversation if people are going to buy it. It should be worthy of having something that you can actually give people the actual solution for. So when you start thinking about upsells, you want to start thinking about, can I give people a DFY application of your product, right? Whatever you're selling. You want to start thinking about, is it going to bring in new customers, right? And can you bring in new leads as a result of creating this new product? And then you want to start thinking about, okay, what about my JVs? What about the people who are actually going to go out and promote this product, and they're going to actually bring me new customers? So is this going to be a product that they're going to be able to go out, they're going to be able to sell, and they're going to actually bring me more ROI by bringing me more customers, right? And so you want to start thinking about that as you start to rewrite once you actually buy the PLR. So let's recap. So we're talking about solving a specific problem with your PLR. You got to find the problem. So we spent most of the time talking about doing the research to find the problem, and then that's when you're going to redo the PLR. So again, before you start rewriting and before you start redoing it, make sure that it's going to be directed towards your niche to solve a specific problem. And then create the problem with a USP. In other words, it should be unique to your marketplace, it should be unique to your niche, and it should be something unique that other people are not talking about or haven't addressed. So that is really how you want to approach this first part of the question. What we may have to do, we want to move on. We'll probably address the rest of these questions in a product that you can actually purchase and actually dive into the topic further. Okay, so now in our next video, we'll either tackle maybe another part of this, or we'll go into another part of the question. If you haven't taken the survey, just go to gainmindshare.com/training survey. Fill in the survey. Let us know here at the end what you want us to cover in our videos. Right down here, make sure you write, these are the important fields right here. I mean, you can certainly, we use the information that you're going to be putting in the checkbox, but these are the most important ones because we use this in order to determine our training as well as our videos on a daily basis. So go ahead over to gainmindshare.net/training survey. And thanks, and I will see you in the next video.